why I hate humans. When a vegan is trying to advocate for animal rights, sometimes the non-vegan would accuse the vegan of not caring about humans. This is what's known as a red herring. They're simply trying to divert the conversation away from the matter at hand. To illustrate, here's an example from a comment left by a troll on my UK Animal Rights March video. Now, English is obviously not this guy's first language, so I'm not going to criticise the grammar and spelling, etc. In places it gets quite hard to understand, but I'm going to try my best. Why do you care about animal rights but not about Syrian babies' rights? Why don't you make a film? Why don't you serve Allah the Magnificent, Mighty and Magnificent One? Why don't you care for a Muslim baby but only animal baby? Sad face. Now, I was pretty confident that this guy was just trolling. Normally I wouldn't go in as hard as this, and I would try to connect with someone to, try and get a good conversation going, but I just wanted this guy to know that I knew what he was up to. So I replied, "You're obviously criticising what I'm doing to make yourself feel better about the blood on your hands. From my perspective, this is a foolish tactic. If you look down, you will see that you still have blood on your hands. You have the power to stop the terror that you are inflicting." So his reply was, "So you say animal is more important than Muslim baby? So you're a Muslim hater, you are a sick evil one. To you, animal are more important than Muslim baby, you are a sick one." And this logic is terribly, terribly faulty. He's saying because I'm making a video about animals, I don't care about humans, or specifically Muslim babies. If I make a video about chickpea curries, like a recipe video about a chickpea curry, does that mean I don't like lentil curries? This is the type of crazy mental acrobatics that one has to do to take the attention away, from the blood on their hands, from the fact that they're causing suffering. They have to come up with this crazy mumbo jumbo to try and talk the conversation around and make themselves appear rational, except you can't appear rational when you're talking like this. I know that vegans hate Muslims. No, vegan is for shaitan. Does that mean Satan? I've got no clue. I've got no clue what he's trying to say here, sadly. So, based on the way one vegan's talking and acting, now to his mind, all vegans hate Muslims. Logical. Now if I make my chickpea curry video, I hate lentils. There is just no sense. So here's me giving my perspective. I hate absolutely no one. I love everyone equally, regardless of colour, religion, sexuality, or how many legs they happen to have. I recognise that you are suffering, and your suffering is spilling over to me, so I forgive you because I even love you despite your unkindness. This will be my last response if you decide to keep being unkind to me, but know that I hold no ill feeling towards you and that I wish you well, my friend. So basically I recognised that he was a troll. It was unlikely that I was going to talk him out. He just kept repeating his same BS rather than taking in anything I was saying. And I want to be the most effective. I want to help, save the most humans and animals and, more quickly save the fate of the environment. So, pick your battles. If you can see that someone's just not listening, why waste your time when there's people who are more open and ready to listen, with an open mind and an open heart. Sometimes with a troll, I think they have lacked, they've not been heard, perhaps as a child. Typically this is like the learned behaviour, and perhaps they had to act up in order for the parents to even take notice of them. So sometimes at this point in a conversation, I will warn, like, I'll stop talking to you if you don't change, and become a more reasonable person, trying to get a good conversation. And sometimes they do actually start to listen a little bit, so it's worth giving it a go. But like I say, don't just waste your time. Sadly, he didn't want to play ball, so his closing remark was, "You're the one who thinks animals are more important than Muslim babies. You are the bad one. You are unkind." Then a load of stuff I can't hope to understand. You must stop worship of earth and worship Allah and tell people about Muslim baby. What I get from that is you're accusing me of worshipping the earth and saying that I should worship Allah. This use of the word worship, like, I don't understand why you're using it. From my perspective, all I'm trying to do is advocate that people don't cause suffering unnecessarily in, if you want to put it this way, God's creatures. You know, they're sentient. They feel fear and pain. They run from violence. They scream under the knife. I'm not trying to worship them. I'm just saying if we don't need to hurt them, why on earth would we? Instead of criticising me, you could use that time and energy to make your own film if this really is so important to you. When I looked on your channel, I see that you have no films. So to summarise, I'm trying to lessen the suffering in the world while not adding to suffering in myself, whilst you are causing suffering in the world and you are doing nothing to lessen the suffering of these Muslim babies. Just in case this cause is actually important to you, I'm going to indulge you. Please stop harming Muslim babies. Anyone listening to this who is harming a Muslim baby, they don't deserve it, they're innocent, they just want to feel love and joy, they don't want to be scared, they don't want to be hurt, just like all the other animals of the earth. Let's not cause harm in anyone. Now, as for vegans hating humans, humans are also animals. So that would be non-vegan for a vegan to hate a human, so they wouldn't be vegan in the first place. Did you know that many slaughterhouse workers suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder? There's even a new illness which has come out of the slaughterhouses called perpetuation induced trauma syndrome, whereby the act of repetitively going against our innate compassion causes terrible mental disease. When a new slaughterhouse opens up, the incidences of domestic violence in the surrounding area goes up 300%. And most of the grain which is fed to farmed animals comes from countries where children are starving. If we didn't demand lots of animals to eat, the grain could stay in that country and feed these starving children. And now to finish up, I'd like to draw everyone's attention to an amazing project called Project Child Save. They're a team of ex-special ops soldiers. There's Green Berets, Navy SEALs, Army Rangers. There's also FBI there. And they investigate and they find out where in the world are child sex slaves. Now these are totally voluntary men. They go in risking their lives and they pull out these poor children, you know, at gunpoint. The leader is an amazing man called Ty Ritter. He actually only retired from being on the missions himself recently at age 70. He'd got shot again and he decided to step down before the younger men told him it was kind of time to. But he's had several dislocations on his body from these missions. He's been shot, he's been stabbed, he's been chopped with a machete. Here he is speaking on a recent podcast which really touched me and made me want to bring this to everyone's attention.
And we found either a 6 or 7 year old, that was never determined, but that's an approximate, deceased in a wheelbarrow with trash and beer cans all over to watch my guys standing over them, and I'm watching them straighten out a body that rigor mortis had set into of a child and put it in a body bag and watch them on their knees crying. That's these are war-hardened special ops people, Navy SEALs and Green Berets, to see that and know without question they'll be back tomorrow doing it again.
What some amazing men risking their lives to save these children. There's a problem, you know, they're funded by donations, you know, that's the limiting factor. They can only save so many children. They have to turn missions down because they've not got enough money coming in. So what an amazing thing, Mr. Troll, if you could donate some money. And any vegans, you know, if you're tired of getting hit with that vegans don't care about humans when you're out advocating veganism, you know, if we donate some money and then we can say, well, did you know about Project Child Save? I guarantee 99.9% of the time there's people's faces will glaze over because they're not bloody interested one little bit. But please, let's all try and help out these amazing guys. So projectchildsave.com, donate down the bottom left. Bottom right here you can click how much to donate monthly. So I've gone through to PayPal, I just need to log in. So you go onto the review payment page. I've covered up my address so you can't stalk me. Agree and pay. Agree, your payment has been completed. One of our recent missions was to Saudi Arabia, which is a Muslim country. So, Mr. Troll, if you do care so much about these Muslim children, perhaps you'll make a little video of you making the payment and prove me wrong. Maybe you're not just trying to troll me and hurt my feelings because of their blood on your hands. If you're not in a position to help Project Child save monetarily at the moment, why not just share links on your social media? Just raise awareness so hopefully other people can donate. And people, do comment below and let me know the humanitarian causes that you support or that you want to raise awareness of, and have a look and see that they're human animals, not just the non-human animals that need help in the world. If you've enjoyed this video and you feel as though it may be of benefit to others, want to help grow our wonderful community by sharing it out on your social media, together we'll help inspire everyone to not cause harm.